No limitations is and no commitments in that mode is. And then you may have some restriction in there except for such and such or, yeah. And as Melinda pointed out, occasionally, but you're not meant to do this, they won't use those words and they'll just say something, yeah. But you also have the horizontal, yeah, that applies to all of what follows. Right? So we have some protections in the positive list. Remember, it's negotiated. Right? You don't unilaterally decide what your protections are. Yeah? And it goes through that request offer process. Then we have, in relation to the non-discrimination rules, not just national treatment, but the different localisation rules, local presence, senior managers and board of directors, and the other one? Local content and performance requirements. Right? We have a negative list approach at the beginning of the schedule for the full policy carve-out. Yeah, the paragraph 4, the section A, yeah, then followed by the section on standstill and ratchet. Yeah. Again, differences that we found in the way that the schedule is structured. Yeah. Sometimes it keeps the 4 columns with 2 of them empty, and sometimes it just runs straight across for the... Yes, for paragraph 2, which is the standstill, paragraph 3, which is the ratchet. Right? And then we go and sometimes have also entries next to the market access ones, which are also on the non-discrimination rules, also standstill and ratchet. And if nothing is mentioned, it is fully committed on national on non-discrimination. Right? We may have also a separate annex list of what is not subject to the most favoured nation rule. The MFN rule is what? Okay. And one party that's not just a TISA party, the best treatment you give to any country, you must give to the TISA parties. And then that's unresolved at present, what happens to free trade agreements and so on, and not decided yet whether there is a schedule on that.
But the US one had,
yes.
So that was a schedule for that.
Yes,
that's what that
yes,
was.
yes. And often what governments do when they are arguing for a certain position is that they put it on paper. Yeah. So, we're assuming that we're going to win this argument. It's not clear yet whether there will be an ability to carve out various state-owned enterprises that meet the threshold for coverage in the annex. In the TPPA there was, but it was really hard negotiated. Sometimes there was a bit of a phase-in period given for some state-owned enterprises, but it was pretty tough. Might be a list or a schedule for e-commerce, not clear yet, but if so, it will be a negative list. Some annexes, the rules may be subject to the limitations in the schedules. That's in some cases still being fought. Some annexes will also limit the space that's available, especially for market access, by requiring negative list rather than positive list. And some may in fact say you have to take full commitments on these particular areas.
Did I miss it, or is there a list of which annexes have this requirement for negative list on market access?
There's no lists anywhere of anything.
No, I mean in your head.
Oh. they're not agreed to in most of the annexes. So what I can do is go through and say which ones are proposing, yeah. Yeah, so that, I mean, yes, that's
Just so
a,
that we have.
that's a tedious task for a night when I haven't got a brain to do anything else.